If you're preparing for the NAPOLCOM PNP Entrance Exam, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll cover important criminal justice system concepts in a simple way, with practice questions to help you understand tricky topics better. Watch till the end to boost your chances of passing and feel more confident on exam day. Let's get started. 1. Which of the following is a justifying circumstance under the revised penal code? A. Passion or obfuscation. B. Insanity. C. Self-defense. D. Voluntary surrender. Answer: C. Self-defense. Explanation: a justifying circumstance removes criminal liability. Self-defense allows someone to protect themselves from an unlawful attack without being punished for the harm caused. For example, if someone attacks you with a knife, and you defend yourself by injuring the attacker, this can be justified under self-defense. 2. Which of the following is an aggravating circumstance? A. Voluntary surrender. B. Taking advantage of nighttime. C. Mental illness. D. Minor participation in the crime. Answer: B. Taking advantage of nighttime. Explanation: aggravating circumstances increased the severity of a penalty. Using nighttime to commit a crime suggests premeditation and the desire to hide the crime, making it more severe. 3. Which stage of a felony is completed when all elements of the crime are present, but the result does not occur due to external reasons? A. Attempted stage. B. Frustrated stage. C. Consummated stage. D. Preparatory stage. Answer: B. Frustrated stage. Explanation: in the frustrated stage, the person does everything needed to commit the crime, but the intended result doesn't happen. For example, if someone shoots another person, but the victim survives because of medical help. 4. Which of the following circumstances reduces criminal liability? A. Passion or obfuscation. B. Treachery. C. Ignorance of the law. D. Recidivism. Answer: A. Passion or obfuscation. Explanation: passion or obfuscation happens when someone commits a crime because they are overwhelmed by strong emotions. This doesn't excuse the crime, but it can lead to a lighter penalty. If someone hits another person during a heated argument, acting out of anger in the moment, this could be a mitigating circumstance. Their strong emotions led to the act, so they may get a lighter punishment. 5. In which stage of a felony is the crime already started but not completed? A. Frustrated stage. B. Attempted stage. C. Consummated stage. D. Pre-planning stage. Answer: B. Attempted stage. Explanation: in the attempted stage, the offender has begun committing the crime but is stopped before completing it. For example, someone tries to stab a person but is restrained before causing harm. 6. Which of the following describes a mitigating circumstance? A. The accused is a first-time offender. B. The crime was committed with treachery. C. The offender deliberately increased the severity of the offense. D. The crime was committed out of pure evil intent. Answer: A. The accused is a first-time offender. Explanation: being a first-time offender can mitigate the penalty because the person has no prior criminal record, which may show that the crime was not part of a habitual pattern. 7. A person attacks another who has drawn a gun on them. What justifying circumstance could apply? A. Defense of relative. B. Defense of stranger. C. Self-defense. D. Imprudence. Answer: C. Self-defense. Explanation: self-defense applies when someone defends themselves against an unlawful aggression. In this situation, the person is allowed to protect themselves from an immediate threat to their life. 8. In a situation where a person, driven by rage after seeing their spouse with another person, attacks the spouse, which circumstance applies? A. Aggravating circumstance. B. Mitigating circumstance. C. Justifying circumstance. D. None of the above. Answer: B. Mitigating circumstance. Explanation: passion or obfuscation is a mitigating circumstance. Intense emotions like anger or jealousy can reduce the penalty, but they do not fully justify the crime. 9. What type of crime is committed when all elements of the felony are present, and the intended result occurs? A. Attempted. B. Frustrated. C. Consummated. D. Preliminary. Answer: C. Consummated. Explanation: in the consummated stage, the crime is fully completed. For instance, if someone successfully robs a bank, the robbery is consummated. 10. A person shoots another with intent to kill, but the victim survives due to immediate medical assistance. What stage of felony is this? A. Attempted. B. Frustrated. C. Consummated. D. Conspiracy. Answer: B. Frustrated. Explanation: this is an example of a frustrated crime. The offender performed all the necessary actions to cause death, but the victim survived, preventing the intended outcome. 11. Which of the following is considered an aggravating circumstance when committing a crime? A. Lack of intention to commit so grave a wrong. B. Crime committed in the dwelling of the offended party. C. Voluntary confession of guilt. D. Acting under extreme fear or intimidation. Answer: B. Crime committed in the dwelling of the offended party. Explanation: committing a crime in the home of the victim without any provocation is considered an aggravating circumstance because it violates the sanctity of one's residence. 12. Which justifying circumstance involves defending oneself from unlawful aggression? A. Defense of stranger. B. Defense of relative. C. Self-defense. D. Avoidance of greater evil. Answer: C. Self-defense. Explanation: self-defense allows a person to protect themselves from an unlawful attack. It removes criminal liability if the force used is proportional to the aggression. 13. A person who has committed a crime but surrenders to the authorities without being captured may benefit from which of the following? A. Aggravating circumstance. B. Mitigating circumstance. C. Justifying circumstance. D. Exempting circumstance. Answer: B. Mitigating circumstance. Explanation: voluntary surrender is a mitigating circumstance. It shows that the person is willing to take responsibility, which can reduce the penalty. 14. Which stage of felony occurs when the offender begins the execution of the crime but does not complete it due to factors outside their control? A. Consummated. B. Frustrated. C. Attempted. D. Accomplished. Answer: C. Attempted. Explanation: in the attempted stage, the offender has started committing the crime, but something interrupts the completion of the criminal act. 15. Which of the following is not considered a mitigating circumstance? A. Immediate vindication of a grave offense. B. Offender is over 70 years old. C. Act committed in passion or obfuscation. D. Crime committed in contempt of authority. Answer: D. Crime committed in contempt of authority. Explanation: crime committed in contempt of authority is an aggravating circumstance, as it shows disrespect for law enforcement or public officials. 16. A person defends their sibling from an attacker using force. What justifying circumstance may apply? A. Defense of stranger. B. Defense of relative. C. Avoidance of greater evil. D. Self-defense. Answer: B. Defense of relative. Explanation: defense of relative applies when someone uses force to defend a family member from unlawful aggression, as long as the force used is proportionate. 17. What is an example of a mitigating circumstance? A. Recidivism. B. Habitual delinquency. C. Committing the crime under the influence of alcohol in good faith. D. Use of superior strength. Answer: C. Committing the crime under the influence of alcohol in good faith. Explanation: if the offender was not fully aware of the consequences of their actions due to intoxication, but not habitual drunkenness, it may be considered a mitigating circumstance. 18. Which term refers to a situation where the act would have been justified, but certain conditions were not met? A. Incomplete justification. B. Imperfect self-defense. C. Mitigating circumstance. D. Aggravating circumstance. Answer: B. Imperfect self-defense. Explanation: imperfect self-defense occurs when someone acts in self-defense, but not all the conditions required to justify it are met, such as an absence of unlawful aggression. 19. A person is about to commit theft but stops upon hearing someone approach. This is an example of which stage of felony? A. Attempted. B. Frustrated. C. Consummated. D. Impossible crime. Answer: A. Attempted. Explanation: the crime was in the process of being committed, but external circumstances like hearing someone approach prevented the person from completing the theft. 20. A mitigating circumstance may apply when A. The crime is planned ahead of time. B. The accused acts out of strong emotions. C. The offender misuses their position of power. D. The crime is done with cruelty. Answer, B. The accused acts out of strong emotions. Explanation. When someone commits a crime because they are overwhelmed by strong feelings, like anger or sadness, it's called passion. This can lessen their blame because they weren't thinking clearly at that moment.